Hi there, Ram owners. Today in your 2006 Ram 1500, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install K-Source's custom flip-out towing mirrors. This towing mirror is going to be a direct replacement for your factory mirrors. They're going to extend out significantly further than what the factory mirror did, and that's going to give you a much better viewing angle at your trailer. One of the things that I really like them though is that since they are a permanent install, they look like they were supposed to be on the truck right from the factory because they match in very nicely with the textured black plastic, and they maintain all the functionality of your factory mirrors. I can still adjust them using the switch inside my truck to get that proper tilt without even having to open my window on those cold days. In addition to maintaining all the functionality from the electronic operation, it still maintains its breakaway as well, and you don't have to worry about any contact with the windshield or body. And when you're not towing your trailer, if you want to have a bit cleaner, sleeker look, you can fold it in, and now you've got a more factory style look to it, not that larger, big, aggressive look. And this can be nice just to minimize the width of your truck. Maybe you got a tight spot in the garage, and that makes all the difference to get two cars pulled in. And this is a dual purpose mirror. The larger section is going to be your standard flat mirror, which is going to give you a more accurate representation of what's behind you. But in the bottom corner, we also have a convex mirror here. And the convex mirror is going to give you a wider viewing angle. So this way you can see much more around you in this little spotter mirror here. You do want to keep in mind that with convex mirrors, objects in them may be closer than they appear. With our new mirrors installed, you can see me here at the back of the vehicle. And as I take a step towards the outside, you can still see me, which would likely not happen in our factory mirrors. But if I keep on going, I drop out of view of the regular mirror, but I can still be seen in the convex mirror. All of these are particularly useful when hauling your trailer, especially when merging onto the highway, changing lanes, and during parking maneuvers. And these mirrors are heated as well, so if you had that factory option, it will still be functional with these mirrors. We'll begin our installation by removing the door panel. I do recommend having the window rolled down before taking the door panel off, because once you disconnect the switch, a lot of times you won't be able to operate it anymore. So we've got that rolled down. We're just going to start on our passenger side, and to remove this, we're just going to remove the 4 screws that hold it on. There's one there, one in the middle, and there's 2 down at the very bottom. We're just going to use our Phillips head to remove these. Lift up on the door handle to get to this one. And then the 2 that are down below are a lot smaller. There's one here and there's one towards the inside edge as well. Now that we've got all those removed, we do need to get our door handle out of the way. And to do that, we're just going to use a 10mm socket. If we pull up on the door handle, there's a nut right down inside of there. So we're going to just remove that nut with our 10mm socket. You can also use a Torx bit because it does have a center as well. And you can see the bolt there, it just stays with the handle. And the Torx for the center is going to be a T40 if you wanted to use that instead. Now that all that hardware is out of our way, to remove the door panel, you just want to lift up on it. It's going to pop it loose. We're going to swing it kind of towards the outside just a little bit to access our 2 connectors here on the inside. For each of these, you're going to press in on the release tab and then pull down. And you can see the little release tabs there. You just push in on those guys. We can now set the door panel aside, and then we'll remove our mirror. The mirror has 3 bolts that attaches it, here, here, and here, as well as an electrical connector in the center. We're going to disconnect the electrical connector first by releasing the release tab. It's on the bottom side. a little bit smaller there. If you got a little fingernail, it makes it a little bit easier. Now we'll remove the 3 bolts. We're just using our 10mm socket once again. And then the last bolt here, before removing this one, you want to grab your mirror. That's why we kind of rolled the window down. A lot of times it's easier to grab it through the window, but so you guys can see here. Get that last one off of there. And then, now your mirror is not just going to fall out of there. There's actually 2 clips on the electrical connector that do hold it in there. You still want to support it just in case those clips, they are just plastic. Sometimes they can break. You don't want your mirror just to fall down. But if it doesn't want to come out, just grab your screwdriver here and just push in on those clips. And then just kind of wiggle it around until you get it out of there. There we go. And you give you a closer look at those 2 clips here. You can see the 2 ears on each side. They'll grab on the little metal hole that goes around the connector. So you just got to push in on each of those tabs to get it to release. We can then set the old mirror aside. Your new mirror does come with new hardware. It's going to match right up where all the old studs used to line up. Same with the connector and everything. So this just slides into place. Line up the holes. And then just push it in. You'll kind of hear a little click of that connector, but don't let go of your mirror. Again, you don't want to just trust that connector, even though it is brand new plastic. This one is quite a bit longer. This mirror's heavier than your old one. So we're going to get those studs started with a new nut. And once you get each one started, then we can just go back and snug it down with our 10mm socket. We can now plug our mirror back in with the factory electrical connector that we disconnected from our factory mirror. And then at this point, it's just reinstalling the door panel in reverse order. If we look at the back side of the door panel, you'll see it's got several hooks and they angle down. There's several slots in the door here. You just got to get all those lined up. It does take a minute to get them all lined up, but once it sits flush, then it just drops back down in place. Pay attention to your little lock mechanism here because you do have to line that up. Also, don't forget to plug in your electrical connectors. Check both sides. They look good. Get that lock mechanism in. Now you do have to get your door handle back in place. So you just get that in there, line up the bolt. I usually find it easier to start it by hand first, and then you can get your gun out after you get it started. And there we go. We got it started. Make sure it's not loose. Everything seems to work there. So now we'll just reinstall the 4 screws that we had removed. And that completes our look at K-Source's custom flip-out towing mirrors.